Hello, everyone. I'm Pruitt from WebDM, and this is Starward Bound, The Incredible Journey. I hope everyone's doing great this evening. I hope our players are doing great. Let's run around and get what's going on with them and what they're playing, or who they're playing this evening. Sorry. And so let's start off with Kiana. How you doing this evening?
I am doing okay. It's finals week for me. I'm a third-year university student to try to weather that storm. So, you know what? Always good to have a study break and be here playing D&D with these lovely people on the internet. And I will be playing as Warforged Barbarian E44, your favorite innocent, naive killer machine.
That they are. So moving on, let's move over to Trey. How you doing, man? How's it going?
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Man, here we go. Brah, it's about to go down. Yo, so I'm excited. My character is a half-elf monk with dark tendencies named Dakul. Man, I just can't wait to get situated with the team, thrown into the fray, and let the bodies fall where they may.
Well, let's see where they fall. Moving on over to Emma. How you doing, my lovely Emma?
I am good, Mr. Pruitt. I'm very happy. I slept all night last night, which never happens to me. So it's an event. And I'm very happy to be here and be Hildegard. And something I've been preparing for my entire life. I am very ready to penetrate to the darkest depths of the rock. Great.
Oh my. So follow that up, Greg.
Oh, no way, man. Can't do that. Even though I, too, have the same desire to penetrate the rock, but we won't get into that right now, as I am playing Elry Tossbottle, the halfling arcane trickster, who has just leveled up to 4. And let's just say that whenever it came down to picking exactly what Elry would do at this stage of the game, he decided to get very, very lucky. Mm-hmm. So let's test that luck out tonight on the rock. Let's do this.
Yes, let us. So let's just do a quick recap. Our heroes, part of a racing skiff team, performed in a race but didn't finish. They saw some people in need, so they intervened. They commandeered themselves a Nyogi death spider and disposed of the pilot and saved the day, at least for that group of people. Another ship did break atmosphere and get away. And so for that, they were given a place on the Dawn Rose on its inaugural voyage up to the rock. On the way to the rock, they were attacked by some space sharks known as scavers. They were able to fight these fishy beasts off with minimal casualties. And as we left off, the Dawn Rose was pulling into the docks at the rock and mooring, and the gangplank was lowered, and we find our heroes on the deck of the Dawn Rose. Before them, the docks, which stretch in both directions at least 500 feet, maybe. It's a very, very wide dock. Y'all are kind of docked in the center, and before you can see an entryway, a set of double doors, and an entryway to either side of it. A little bit further down, there are openings for, it looks like, warehouses, maybe staging areas for cargo, as you see various elven ships and a few human that looks like just galleons. Offloading cargo, onloading cargo. It's a busy place here at the Rock. And you are standing on the deck of the ship amidst all of these comings and goings.
As soon as everybody touches down, Elry disappears into the dock screaming, "We're in space!" And he's just gone.
So y'all see Elry run down the gangplank and up the dock to the main docks themselves. Yeah. And it's about this time that that Captain Ledbetter is opening the door that lead to the stairs to go down below decks, and you see a familiar face come up, and it's Xander Cerrone, who is the pilot of the Mag-8 Acadium ship that helped y'all take down the Nyogi. And you see Ledbetter shaking his hand and, giving a good, like, oh, yeah, and Xander's like, yeah, it's a little shaky. It looks like they're having a conversation. So you see that as Elry was running off. And it looks like Zofia Sill, the FTL ambassador, she's met with a few diplomats there. And so there you have it.
It's like, here are all these story possibilities, and then Elry's just over there now.
Hey.
Did somebody go after him? I feel that he might find himself in a bit of mischief again. And with that being said, I guess I'll head in his general direction, not as fast. I'm going to take my time so I can kind of like check out my surroundings.
Okay. So Dakul, you go down the gangplank and onto the docks, and you're moving towards the general direction where Elry ran off to. And it's about that time you see a gnome, finely dressed. Looks like he's wearing almost like a velvet suit, shiny black boots with buckles on the top, and he's just holding a little placard card that just says Dakul on it. Like he's like standing at the airport waiting to pick you up. He's just kind of looking around. He's got nicely trimmed little chops that come down from his curly black hair, and he's just kind of like looking around.
Hey, hello there, kind sir. Would you happen to be looking for this Dakul or another Dakul?
He kind of looks at the card and he's like, "Oh, you Dakul?"
It is pronounced Dakul, but yes, I am him.
You Dakul? Yeah. Okay. Well, Bobaloo, he sends his regards. And he holds out the card for you, and you can see it's like a piece of like heavy parchment that's folded in half, and he kind of holds it out for you.
Well, I will absolutely take that. Sir, is Bobaloo around? Is he still on the planet we have just left? Or is this just a piece of his sentiments that he has sent from afar?
No, I mean, I saw him this morning. Yeah, he gave me that note. I think he got up here last night.
Oh, okay. Well, may I have your name, kind sir?
Oh, yeah. I'm Jimmy.
Oh, okay, Jimmy. I will read this most quickly. If I have any questions, where may I find you or Bobaloo?
Oh, yeah, you can come over to the bosses. We're over at Investments.
Investments?
Yeah.
What part of town is Investments?
Oh, it's not far. You just go right in the door there, and it's right there on the right when you get to the intersection. You just right there on the right.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Come down for a fitting. We'll get you into something nice. And he kind of motions. He just kind of motions up and down.
Okay. Can I give him a tip? Do I have any coppers on me? I know I got a couple of coppers on me that I can at least give him.
You got some money. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me give him a couple of silver pieces then, just to say thank you.
He kind of like puts it. He's like, oh, and kind of just shrugs, puts it in a front pocket.
Don't spend that all in one place now.
Oh no! I know exactly where I'm going. Hey, ladies! And he turns around, and starts walking back inside.
Okay. I'm excited. Man, I don't think I've ever gotten mail before. So I'm gonna look around to make sure, see if anybody's like watching me open this. Kind of, reserved. And can I crack this parchment open and get to reading?
Yeah, you crack the parchment open and you begin reading, and I don't know if you've probably never seen like Bobaloo's handwriting. It's actually quite flowing and elegant. And as your eyes kind of scan across the page, you can kind of hear his voice, in your head. It's like, hey, Dakul, when you get up to the rock, which I mean you're obviously here because you're reading this, but you get here, come on over to investments. I want to introduce you to the Don. Because I told you I'd help you out. I saw that you helped us out a little bit, but come on over to investments. We'll get you squared away. Signed, Bobaloo.
I feel another adventure coming. After I read that, I'm going to look for my captain. Oh, captain! I think Eldery is going to be all right for the moment. So I'm going to head back and head back to Hilda.
Okay, so Hilda and E, what have y'all been doing as Ellery runs off and you see Dakul kind of go off after him?
I think I may have been giving E a little bit of a primer, telling her, telling them, listen, some people are going to look at you funny, but it's because they're jealous of what you can do and what you are. Don't even worry about it. Giving you the whole like mom talk that nobody believes about how really you're very special. And we need to buy you some like clothes, I think, if you don't have any. But
why would I need clothes? I do not have any biological skin to expose to elements.
It's not for you, it's for them. And it's for their comfort. I know you don't really understand feelings so much, but they really do factor into what everybody does way more than logic. I'm sorry. You'll get it eventually.
I will try to learn.
And so we will be kind of going around, just looking around and seeing what there is, I suppose, right here. Well, it's as I suppose Dakul comes up to us, yes?
Yeah, you're kind of looking around. You see Dakul coming back down the docks towards the ship. It's about that time that like Xander Cerrone is kind of parted from the captain. He's walking by and he's like, Hilda, how's it going there?
Pretty good. How are you, Xander?
Oh, just trying the old bird out for the first time. How'd you smooth ride? I take it.
Yeah, it was A+ for that ride. It was good. Hilda's not quite sure what to do with cocky. What is the word? Helmsman, I suppose.
Well, just wanted to say you did good flying there back, helping out those people. I think we did a good thing.
Absolutely did a good thing. I'm glad to see you up here with us. We did what needed to be done. We couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, consequences be damned. But I'm glad the captain gave me a shot here. And you did good flying. So anytime we're out there, you can be my co-pilot anytime.
Bullshit! You can be mine.
He holds his hand out for a nice shake.
Give him a good shake.
And he walks down the gangplank, passing to Cool. He gives you a nod to Cool.
Greetings, sir. Yes. Hilda, I have a proposition to make. Before we started the race, I was talked to by a small gnomish man who offered me an opportunity. He is here on the planet, and I would like to take this chance to go find where he is. But I wanted you to know where my whereabouts would be, or even if you would be inclined to come. His name is Bobaloo, and he is wanting me to meet him at the place called Investments.
I would assume would Hilda know Bobaloo? Probably.
I mean, yeah, you've been in and around Nero's gates all your life, and you know that the gnomes from Forrester's Hollow, they trade in silk and fabrics down here. And yeah, you know that he's part of the Merchants Guild in to some capacity. You're not sure exactly what y'all's you being a smith, y'all don't really cross that much, but you've seen him around. You know, he's kind of weaselly. Yeah. His hair's a little he's a bit of a greaser. His hair's all kind of greased back. You know, he's a little
got like a stripe.
Yeah. And so,
All right. Well, and in that case, cool. I'd be happy to come with you. I'm kind of familiar with them. I know those gnomes can drive a hard bargain. You don't necessarily want to trust them. I did once when I was about 150. I really shouldn't talk about it.
Yes, and it is because of your wisdom why I have come to you first. On the way there, maybe we can pass by Elry and make sure he is not up to his normal shenanigans.
Absolutely. Let's go get him.
Me at this time is probably just trying to take everything in, adding all the images and the sensory data into their database. Just totally, this is all new.
Right.
Life is so new for them. So they're scanning everything. Is there anything that particularly commotion? Is there a lot of commotion in one area? Because if E knows anything, Elry brings commotion about him.
Yeah, you see commotion in a couple of places. There's commotion right at the end of the docks at the head of the Dawn Rose. As you see the ambassador Zofia Sill, who traveled up with you, talking with some dwarves who are having a very animated conversation. And then down the dock a little ways, you do see some commotion. Elry, what are you up to?
Elry would be trying to do a fast take of the surrounding couple hundred yards from the docks, and he will light wherever the most interesting thing is happening. If that would be an angry conversation between dwarves and their former person, then he'll be eavesdropping on that. If there's a street performer, I don't know exactly what's going on here at the Rock, anything to catch his attention, because this is the first time he's done whatever he's doing in space. He could be having a drink of water in space. He could be eating something in space. So everything is super duper fun right now.
Yeah, so, when you took off running and you went down one direction on the docks and you saw, the open cargo bays with dwarves and humans offloading stuff, bringing them in, various sizes, crates of spices and fabrics, and you see like maybe some weapons manufacturers, just like a crate full of like hammers and swords. They're just bringing it, loading it on the ship, and you go the other way and it's more like produce. Looks like produce that they're offloading from ships, like maybe they came up from Nero's 4, resupplying the food stores up here, as there's just crates of like barrels of water and crates of wheat, barley, and barrels of wine as they're rolling them off. And you actually see like a barrel like roll off the side, and like nobody really like freaks out as it just kind of like falls for a little bit and then kind of warbles and comes back up and kind of again, like when you saw DeCool like jump off, kind of came to a balance. Like as you see that the rocks kind of cut right in the middle of this asteroid, and so somebody goes and grabs a pole, has a little hook on the end, like at a swimming pool, and they just kind of like pull it back towards the docks, and put it back down and roll it down the docks. And eventually you're coming back by where the Dawn Rose is, and you do see like a very animated conversation between a very patient Zofia Sill and some dwarves that are very well dressed, business suits, dressed to the nines. Their jackets go down to their knees, their boots come up to their knees. They're very freshly polished. They have their little leather duffels full of looks like papers and official official memos and whatnot. And they're like, we demanded mediation. You're here. Let's get started. We want to do this right now. We need to talk to them about that. And you see him like pointing. Looks like he's pointing in the direction of your friends. And Zofia Sill is just kind of placating them.
Well, Elry, if he was running by, he would do that thing where it looks like his arms are still moving, but his legs really aren't. So he's kind of mimicking like he's going somewhere so he can listen to what they're saying. And he'll just kind of orbit around them so he can come back around and approach from the docks and just kind of then slow down and whistle so he can continue to listen until somebody either addresses him or he can listen to the conversation. So,
okay, as you're doing that, the three of y'all see Elry doing exactly what he just described, as he's just kind of like eavesdropping in on this conversation with the ambassador and these dwarves. And Hilda, you don't even need to make a roll. You recognize the main dwarf. It's Burke. It's your old friend.
Burke.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Burke.
Are we? We're surrounded by just some of the commerce that's around us, right?
Yeah, I mean they're starting to offload some. They put some supplies on the Dawn Rose that they're now bringing up on deck and offloading. So if y'all are standing like in and around the gangplank, they're like, get out of the way, trying to hustle past y'all and join the bustle.
Okay. If there's somebody that's close to me, the closest person, I just want to just lightly tap them on the side and ever so pleasantly, excuse me, I am sorry to bother you, but I have been told of a place to visit called Investments. What type of place is this? I want to make sure I am properly attired.
Okay. Yeah, the guy you stopped is kind of he's kind of a skinny elf. He's dressed, in fair attire. It's a bit worn, but it's sailor's attire. And he's like, investments. Wow, it's a clothing shop. It's like just up here at the this intersection. If you go through these doors, and it's in there to the right, like right at the intersection.
Thank you for your time.
But I think it's closed right now, though. I don't think they're open yet. So, but that's last time I was up here. But that's been a week or two. So they might have opened.
DM, what time of day is it, or how does that work here in space? Like,
well, y'all left at dawn. The rock is in kind of a geosynchronous orbit, kind of right over where Neros 4 is.
Okay.
So I mean, they time they kind of keep to Neros 4 time, just because there's so much commerce back and forth between the planet. And so whatever it is kind of in Nero's gates, they just kind of hold to that. So y'all left at dawn. So I mean, it's like 9 a.m. Like y'all are just getting going. You had a bit of a tussle on the way here, and it took about an hour to get up here, though.
Can you describe how we look? Do we look tattered and like, do we look like we've been fighting, or like how would like a normal person passing by us view us? Do we look exhausted?
Well, or I mean, y'all just had one fight, but some of you took a few hits, yes? Or did anybody actually get hurt?
I did, but it doesn't matter.
So, you might have some bloodstains on your clothes to cool because you were out
Okay.
there with that one that you were chopping up. Hilda, you might have some splatters on your armor of these sharks. And I mean, there's some people walking by like admiring, like y'all have like 7 of these things that they're towing in, and they've now plopped down on the deck at the end. And you have the harbor master. He's coming by to mark what's coming off, and he's asking for the manifest for the Dawn Rose, and Ledbetter gives it to him, and then he's like, "Oh, you got to hear." They go over and they start talking about the sharks, and you see him kind of point over towards y'all, and so that there's commerce around, but y'all are there's no worse for wear as y'all did wake up hungover. So, Elry still might have a bit of a calic. I don't know. I'm not sure how halfling hair works. And so, but, again, you might have some stains, but most everybody, I mean, these are all sailors. Okay. So, they see that and they're like, oh, that's a good haul, All
right. So if we can see Elry, can he see us? Does he know that we're close? Or he's just so involved in his own of his espionage right now.
Well, Elry, give me a perception check. See how much you can perceive.
Ooh, not a whole lot. A 6.
A 6. Yeah, Elry, you're focused wholly on this conversation that's going back and forth. That basically Zofia Sill is like, I agreed to mediation and we will meet at place and time of my choosing. Oh, that's not good enough. The dwarf answers back, and they kind of go back and forth a little bit, but finally, she tells them to meet her after lunch, and we will schedule a time for a meeting. And they walk off in a huff. And so now she's just kind of sitting there, like, just kind of pressing the bridge of her nose and just shaking her head. And
Pruitt, during the exchange, did any of the dwarves like present papers? A lot of times whenever there's an argument to be made and there's mediation to be had, the papers in question or some type of writ would be produced and they would shake them. I've seen plenty of law and orders that back up the fact. Yeah. Did any of these dwarves shake papers and then put them somewhere?
Yes, you saw the only dwarf that was speaking. His name was Burke. I don't know if you heard him say that or not, but anyway, Hilda knows him. But at one point you saw him. He's like, "We have statements. That is a danger. We need to take care of it." And it looks like he has some kind of witness statement. And then you see him just kind of put it back in his leather briefcase and clasp it back shut.
So you're saying there's a leather briefcase with a clasp that is currently shut?
Yeah.
Elry would like to call forth his mage hand and follow 30, 40 feet behind these guys and see if he can't maybe obtain said papers from said briefcase.
Okay. All right. So just so y'all know, y'all see the other 3 of you go ahead and give me a perception check as you are kind of standing there on the docks, taking everything in.
That's an 11. E is just way too involved in everything.
Yeah, you're just looking at all the ships. See, there's a couple ships pulling out. An elven ship is pulling out in a way, and then immediately a dwarven submersible that y'all have seen down on Nero's 4, but you've never seen one in space before. Like no sails whatsoever. They basically look like the Red October, just smaller, like these small squat tubes that look like they are made out of stone. You see it pulling in the top of the ship, like splitting open. Dwarves coming up out of it.
If E's eyes could open wider, they would be, but they can't because it's just glass.
Mm-hmm. And the other 2?
18. Got a 20.
18 and 20? Okay, yeah. Y'all are sitting there talking, and you look up just in time to see the dwarves kind of walk off and you see Burke like shaking his head and kind of looks back one last time over his shoulder at you, Hilda, and then at E, and then turns back around. And they're heading inside as the doors to the rock open up. And they kind of go inside, and then you see, both of you see Elry, like, where he was doing a little circuit around the conversation, he just stops, and you see him following, looks like he's following Burke.
I want to follow Eldery. I want to go in his direction, but I don't want to blow his cover. I want to stay at least a good 10 feet away from him and just watch and just stand on guard.
Yeah. Okay. Hilda and E, or what are y'all doing right now as you see Dakul begin to move off in pursuit of Elry?
I think Hilda would like to give them some space, partly because she hates Burke so much, and partly because she doesn't want to attract any needless attention. I think she trusts Elry to do what Elry does.
Okay. Okay. So Elry and Dakul, y'all are walking off. And Hilda and E, y'all are, are you staying on the dock? Are you gonna go inside, or just in general?
I think we're gonna go inside if investments is still closed. We may as well get on with what it is we were supposed to do, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. As you're walking in, Zofia still, you see her just kind of like raise a finger and be like, Hilda, if I could have a moment of your time. And so she motioned you over. But right quick, we were going to go to Elry in pursuit of Burke. The doors open, and you see inside an open, wide hallway with doors on either side, indicating the various businesses. The walls themselves and the floors are some kind of like worked marble that are the same general color of the outside of the rock, that kind of grayish, just like gray space rock, right? But inside it's marbled and it's very finely cut. And on the left side, as you go in, you can kind of see that there's like diplomats and a customs office. And on the right, you can see where looks like some kind of either an inn. The names are like chiseled in stone right above the door. And in the hallway itself, which is, it's fairly wide. It's about 100 feet wide. And in the distance, you can see a fountain kind of in the middle of an intersection of this hallway and another massive one. And at the far end, you can see these massive doors, and it looks like the face and the head of a beholder. And there's a general like chatter and murmur that kind of runs through this, as now like you step inside and like you've maybe been in a dwarven mine before, or you've at least seen pictures of it in books. And like once the door is shut, you just kind of feel like you look around and you're like, this has a very dwarven quality to it. And you can hear like in the distance some like chiseling and hammering, and you see some people up high on the walls, because the ceilings themselves are about 150 feet, as it kind of varies. And it looks like they're like working on the uppermost parts of smoothing out the stone, and like polishing the stone off to make everything look nice and smooth. And so that's what you see as this group of 5 dwarves. It's Burke and 4 others. So they're talking to each other in Dwarven in kind of hushed tones, and he's kind of reprimanding some of the others. And so that's what you see as they're like walking in and down the main hallway. So there are people coming and going.
Okay, what Elry wants to do is he wants to time it. So as soon as somebody, if there's a general traffic in the area, whenever somebody's coming in the opposite direction, he wants to time it and use his mage hand to open up the pack and steal the papers just as somebody passes Burke.
Okay, that is not going to be hard to do. There are people, like I said, there's people coming and going all over. Right as you are passing the looks like diplomatic offices on the left, you see a group of elves come out and walk past the group of dwarves, and they get pretty close.
Okay, yeah. If there's another race in there beyond the dwarves, if the elven group comes by, he wants to hit at the exact same time. He wants to try to steal the papers from the pack when they pass by, and he is staying at the extreme end of his radius. He is at like 29.5 feet as he's like kind of walking and just using his naturally stealthy ability to kind of go behind the larger people and hide as he attempts to pick the pocket of Burke.
Go for it, man. Give me your sleight of hand.
And we do have luck, and before I roll this, we have luck and everything in play now, right? Because of level 4.
Yes. By the way, I guess I should have mentioned that at the beginning of the stream. Because the party completed getting to the rock on the Dawn Rose, I felt it was necessary to go ahead and bump them up to level 4. So the adventure begins, and we're all level 4. Well, I'm not, but go ahead and give me that roll, sir.
14.
14. Okay.
Oh, wait. No, 14 plus.
Oh,
sleight of hand plus 6 is a 20.
Okay, well, never mind then. Yeah, you see the lip. You see the lip of his briefcase kind of like open up just a bit, and you see some papers kind of shuffle out. And actually, hang on, let me roll for the other two. Okay, no, yeah. No one seems to be the wiser as these. When the papers like slip free, what do you immediately do with them?
As soon as the hand has the papers, he's going to take the hand to the floor and have it go from the floor straight back. So it's not floating in the ground. It's almost like they're blowing in a wind that doesn't exist on the rock. But plenty of people on the rock have seen wind before, so it might not be that crazy to see stuff floating around. And then he's just going to grab them off the floor and casually turn around and walk back towards the Dawn Rose.
Alrighty. Well done. Okay, yeah, and as you see the elves and dwarfs kind of pass each other, and the couple of elves kind of give the dwarfs a little bit wider berth, and it looks like the dwarves are taking a left and going into those diplomatic offices that they just came out of. And so you grab the papers and turn around, walk back out, and you walk back out right as DeCool's like reaching the door, because I mean it was pretty quick there, and so. You meet DeCool at the door, and outside, Ambassador Silk.
Look what I found.
I saw you in work. An excellent play. I know the perfect place where we can go over your find discreetly. Follow
Sounds
me.
lovely.
There's a place called Investments that I would like for you to come with me so we can take a look at your find and answer some questions when we're there.
Absolutely.
Okay. How relatively close is Investments from where we are right now?
Okay. As you're standing there at the doorway, you up on the wall, you see like basically a map. And if you kind of look, it's kind of hard to see on the window there. But Investments is basically like the fourth business up on the right. It's literally if you're looking at the map there at the intersection, it's on the southeast corner, like right there. So you're not far away. It's right up on the right from where you are.
Ah, okay. All right. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna tug Ellery because I kind of can see where Investments is. I'm pretty sure since I've had two people tell me where it is, I got a pretty good idea of where it is. So I'll just lightly just tug them without saying anything out loud, of course, and just be like, we're going this way and walk to the front door of Investments and see if it is open.
Okay. As y'all are doing that, we're going to cut back outside and talk to Hilda and E as the ambassador of the Nero system to the First Turnian League, Zofia Sill. It's like, I'm sorry to trouble you, Hilda, but I have a very insistent dwarf that has tasked me with mediating a dispute that the company in which he represents is levying against you specifically and the Merchants Guild.
Oh yeah, it's Burke. He probably wants to take E404. Is that right?
And she, uncomfortably kind of looks over at E and, yes, unfortunately, yes, that's exactly what he wants. And he has tasked me with mediating this, in which I will fulfill as ambassador. It's part of my duties. But I have at least bought you some time so you can enjoy the amenities that the Rock has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, I know that the representatives of the Magate Acadium are very hot to negotiate with your captain, as it is, of the St. Stephen's.
Yes, cool.
You've claimed salvage rights to the Nyogi ship,
Mm-hmm.
and they really would like it. So they are waiting in the diplomatic corridor if you, whenever you would like to come and speak to them. They are ready to talk. But as it is, please, I just, at some point we're going to have to talk to Burke. So see what evidence he has, and I will be neutral, although I do appreciate what you and your friends have done for Neros 4. I mean, I believe that you are heroes, but I must hear them out, as is my duty.
Tell you what, Ambassador Sill, it seems to me like you've had a pretty good chance for Burke to tell you his piece, and there's not a whole lot to it. He's a very simple man. So, maybe, after we get all this stuff done, you have a little lunch with us. You just get to know the issue at hand a little better. What do you say?
Well, yes. I mean, that is the point of the mediation, to hear both sides of the story, and I will rule on it. So, I mean, I will dispatch a courier to tell you. I will be meeting with him to set a time after lunch, and perhaps we can meet later, and we can put this business behind us.
Absolutely, it would be good to. It seems to me a rather simple matter. The way I see it, he is their own person. And they prove that they're a person any more than Burke can prove that he's an asshole? Not really, but you know it's true. So...
You see her stifle a grin. Yes, I believe I see your point. But like I said, I must be off. Many things to see to, and I will see you later. And please enjoy the Rock. It is coming along. I much like the aesthetics that they have chosen.
Yeah.
I believe you'll find it quite at home.
A little dwarven for my taste, but the ceilings are nice.
Never mind. And she turns and elegantly just kind of doesn't even look like she's walking, like as her dress kind of meets the floor, and she just almost glides like inside. And as Elry and Dakul are turning, she walks by and gives you both the briefest of nods and walks on inside.
E looks at who doesn't really understand any of this diplomatic talk. Just looks at Hilda and says, Hilda, why would Burke want me?
Well, because you're pretty unique, E. You know, never really seen anything else like you. And he thinks that means that you're his property. But I don't think so. I think if anything, you're my property, but even then, I don't really think that's true, do you?
It depends on what you mean by property, I suppose.
That it does. Well, something for you to think about, E. What it is you want to do. Just keep that in the back of your head.
It is stored among file 763A. Shall we find our friends?
Absolutely. Where are they? Let's see, because they just came right up on us. Yes.
Yeah. As you turn, you see Elri and Dakul basically holding the door open for Zuvia Sil as she has ushered herself inside, and they're right there at the door, 30 feet away or so.
All right. Well, I will call out to them and say, I know you probably want to get to investments, but they're pretty hot to trot in there.
Yes, I do want to knock on the door and at least see who answers. Do we have time for me to take a look at this query?
I suppose we can make it quick. Gives us a chance to look at these little things that Ellery seems to have.
I found these.
Excellent. It's funny, Ellery. You just find things all over the place.
Dwarf dropped them.
He's a clumsy little bastard, isn't he?
Yes, let us see what we have won.
Okay, yeah, Elri, you pull up the couple of papers that you managed to pilfer, and it looks like these are witness statements. You recognize a couple of names on there. You recognize Broderick, one of the people that you saved from the ship that was as part of the crew on deck. Another statement from someone named Mitchell, and so. Looks like the statements of the four men that were on deck, and it basically just looking through it, it's their witness statement, and they talk about they were taken months ago outside the Faustus sphere, and have been forced to serve on this ship. They kept their families in this cramped cargo hold. And told that at the first sign of any kind of defiance that they would be jettisoned into space, or if they were planet-side, just dropped, to their deaths. So they pretty much, were forced to stay outside. And then when they approached the Neurosphere, they encountered a very strange-looking ship. They'd never seen its like, look almost like a wolf's head or something. The description is like. None of you have, like, even without a roll, like, you've never heard of anything of that description. But it's where they picked up the other three gentlemen, the larger of the crew members that y'all fought. The three that were like mind controlled, like actual, like blank faced, and they, in the witness statement, it basically goes on to say that the Neogi kept those three under control because they were the biggest and the strongest and the most ready to leave, and he frankly didn't have any kind of leverage over them, so he more focused on keeping those three locked down, and then the rest of us, he had our families, so it tells of that, and they picked them up, like I said, just outside of the Neurosphere at the edge of it, and then came in to Neros 4, and they just know that they came down and they were told to go and round up people and bring them in and put them in the cargo hold. And they were taking off, and they tell of the ships that started to come in pursuit and the fight that ensued, and they told of Stephen taking an arrow in the chest, and then the big robot, the big metal contraption coming on deck, and all the statements pretty much say the same thing, that like the robot was the one that pretty much killed everyone, I think. They see the guy that was their friend Steven on the ground, that he just kind of burned away because it's so hot. I'd never seen anything like it. It just seemed to burn anything that was near it. This metal contraption, and so it pretty much just kind of, it's their eyewitness counts of the combat and what happened, and then they tell of y'all saving them and landing the ship and reuniting them with their families, and and pretty much it looks like just kind of a debriefing and taking of the statement. It's pretty much what it is.
Okay, this might be going a little too deep here, Pruitt, but the points that are being made here, is there an account of Dakul taking control of the ship and becoming the captain of the ship after the Neogi's death?
No, because remember, they were all out on the edge of the ship, on deck, tied up. So they know that there was commotion inside, and then the ship started pitching and yawing and flipping, and that eventually it leveled off, and that's when they kind of like looked in and they saw Dakul at the helm. Like one of them did see Dakul at the helm.
Okay, but is there a natural inference in the witness statement that Dakul was in charge of the ship when it came to rest on the ground?
Yeah. Like I said, there is in one of the accounts, because the other three were kind of tied up, but had themselves tied up. But one of them did kind of like wanted to see as y'all had the ship had leveled off, so he felt more safe, and he kind of like looked over and like looked in, and he saw E404 standing there, and he saw Dakul at the helm as they came to land.
Okay, is there also a kind of across the witness board inference that E404 murdered people with the heat that radiates off them?
Well, yes. One of them did see like hit the guy's face, like kind of burn and smolder, and like it was close enough to he himself kind of got sunburned. And that's what I say. There is one of the statements that's like, never seen anything like it. It was like a walking forge. It just seemed to just burn him where he laid down, and and then talks about the other one that she just kind of just took his head almost completely off in one swipe, and it was fearsome. Never seen the warriors match. And
okay, now most importantly, are there multiple paragraphs on the heroic halfling that dove from the side of the ship and saved their families? Is there like a very vivid account of this incredible being that
there's yes, one of them that was like looking over the edge because he was tied up and just couldn't help himself. Yes, he tells of this halfling that just leapt, and they couldn't believe it, and they were like, what the hell, and sure enough, they see him like go down and start, never seen anything like it. They started chaining up, and one of the ships picks up 4 of them, the other one picked up the other 3, and like just couldn't believe it. And
awesome. Let me ask one question here. Basically, what Elry's trying to infer from all of this is the statements that were given. Is there an argument to be made by the witness statements that the salvage rights for the St. Stephen do not belong to our group? And secondly, is there another inference to see that there are facts being built here by listen, if they got a witness statement they didn't like, they'd throw it out. So I'm assuming they kept the ones that they really thought would sell their case. So he's looking for a natural thread through these statements that either creates E404 as being some type of killer or loose cannon or
yes, the one thread that you see through all of the statements is all of them portray E as this, not like a murderous, whatever, but they did like do the majority of the killing. Like from what everyone saw, like E404 was the one that was doing the majority.
Okay, killer robot, got it. All right, so yeah, okay, that's all I wanted to know. Just wanted to know where I stood whenever it came time for Elry Tossbottle Esquire.
Okay. So
this is an interesting find. What is everyone's opinion on what these letters could mean?
They're trying to turn E404 into a killing machine, and damn it, they're going to try to take the St. Stephen away from us. I know it. I know it. I know it. Because I just read it.
Something does not seem right with this. A better question is, where might those dwarves be going right now?
Elry, you saw them walk into the diplomatic quarters that are on the left of this first entry hallway of the rock. There's the customs office, and then the very next thing is all of the diplomatic offices.
They're just doing the grunt work. Don't worry about them. There's somebody behind these guys pulling strings. That's the one we got to worry about.
I see. Okay. So we are left with a couple of choices. We can further investigate who the man behind the string pulling may be, or we can take a short walk over to investments and find out what additional information that could possibly help us for the rest of the way.
I vote investments.
Couldn't we not also do the diplomats? Could we not? What is it? Settle the Saint Stephen? Isn't that what Sophia Still's waiting for?
She did say that the representatives of the Magate Acadium are in her office and ready to make an offer for the Saint Stephen, and they did say that they would like to speak with this quote unquote captain of Saint Stephen.
As far as the map is concerned, okay, I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to figure out what's closest because we're right next to the customs office, right?
You're in between the customs office and the right man. Up to your right, you see beds, baths, and beyond. It is a bathhouse, inn, and brothel. And
right. Okay, and
there's going to be a lot of them. Prepare yourself.
All right, and the investments is like two more stores, like one more store past the.
Right next to that is the Rock Inn, and okay. And then just past that is investments.
All right. Is the distance between where I am now and investments is that close to my movement range? Is that close to about 60 feet? I was just gonna knock on the door just real quick just to see who even answered. If it's even a waste of our time if nobody's in there.
Oh, of investments itself?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you don't see a door on this hallway. You'd have to kind of go around the corner. Yeah, I mean, it's just this is for all intent and purposes, this looks like a giant mall almost. I mean, there's like business after business, and there's people coming and going. And yeah, I mean, you'd have to go around the corner. So it's about 100 feet down. I mean, we're not in any kind of combat or anything like that.
Okay.
And so, you just wherever y'all want to go, this is all up to you.
I think Hilda is correct as far as making sure our future investments with our pirated ship has been taken care of. However, I do want to make sure that whatever opportunity there lies within investments can be taken now if it is available, or we can put it off at a later time.
Well, investments is a store, right? So let's make some money and go shopping.
Yes, let's take some of these blood-soaked rags off and make ourselves a little less inconspicuous.
This is why clothes are inconvenient for a being like me.
I agree.
He pointedly looks at Hilda.
Before we head over to investments, is there a way that I can conceal? Is there a way that I can conceal my bow, or is it just out there? I mean, it is a long bow.
It's a long bow
to conceal. I can't. Could I hide it within my robes? Yeah.
No. It's a long bow.
Just stuff it into the back of your shirt.
Yeah. It's a good like 4 feet.
Okay. Well, what about like my sword? Is I'm not trying to walk in there looking like I'm trying to start a fight.
Well, I mean, you look around at people coming and going, and yes, there's people that are finely dressed. There's people that obviously look like they work here on the rock. I mean, but you also see like adventurer types. There's people walking around with weapons. I mean, this is a fantasy world. There's, so you see garishly dressed pirates with hand crossbow, like 3 or 4 hand crossbows loaded everywhere, and you see a big barbarian looking motherfucker coming out of the right man right there with a big axe strapped across his back. Looks like he's got a paper, and he's like, yes, and walks out. And so, I mean, like a quick glance can tell you that you shouldn't be concerned about having weapons. There are people with weapons. No, I mean, nobody has their swords pulled out,
Okay, right.
Yeah.
All right, so where is this? Is inconspicuous as inconspicuous can get for this world. That I'm all on board. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go knock on the door.
So you are headed to investments? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you're walking up and you head up past Beds, Baths, and Beyond. And sure enough, there are a few windows up front where there's in one window you see maybe a fine looking human woman, red hair, kind of laying down on like some kind of chaise lounge or whatever. And then the next window, I mean, everybody's seen Amsterdam at least. Next window there looks like maybe a half elven woman in kind of very fine gossamer dress, basically see through. And then you walking past the rock inn, and you hear the sound of some Hilda, you would know this as this is dwarven music. It's kind of heavier. It's very drum influenced. But somebody's putting on a show in there. And then you round the corner of investments, and where most of these have, like I said, the signs are kind of chiseled above the door in some kind of font that's appropriate to the business itself. The Rock Inn is very bold lettering. Beds, Bath, and Beyond is flowing script. Investments is very simply stated, like, it's just two words: investments. And small font, like you'd have to, if you were too far away, you wouldn't be able to actually read what it is. And there's like no windows. The front door has a thin slip of glass in the middle. But it's a very, very finely crafted door. But next to the front, it just simply says grand opening, a little sign that says grand opening tomorrow.
Is this a store for investments? I thought you would go to financial institutions for that.
And hearing that, you hear a dwarf walking by. He's like, "Oh, you want to go to Ways and Means for the bank?" And he just keeps going.
I think this is what they would call a play on words. I think. And with that, I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, and not even 2-3 seconds later, you hear clack, 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 and just the door kind of slowly opens just a little bit, and you see the face, the familiar face of Bobaloo. And he looks at you and he's like, "Hey, the cool, you came! Wow, that's like you came like right away."
Yes, when I am sent for, I try to move most hastily.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, the boss is, he's just he's getting ready back here. I mean, you want to go ahead and come in and talk? Are you this is first time to the Rock?
Yes, this is all of our first time.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, hey, I can tell you the places to go, the places to be, but if you want to go ahead and come in and do business, it might be a few minutes while the Dawn gets ready, but it's up to you, man.
I want to look over to our team and just search their faces if they're cool with that.
It's hard to
way up whenever they mention it.
And it's hard to read each face at any point in time, so you could interpret it as you will.
Yeah, Elry's going to look at Dakul and be like, and his eyebrows are going to be halfway up his head as soon as the mention of a Dawn is brought up. And he looks and oh, great! Dakul? Great! Trying his best to infer that everything is not great.
Oh, sorry guys, lag.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Trey's getting some lag here. Can you hear us okay there, Trey?
Okay, I can hear you guys now. I'm so sorry, everybody. I lost like the last 30 seconds. I'm sorry for that.
Okay, so basically just Elry, you want
to... yeah, all that Elry would do is whenever Dakul would turn around and try to gauge everybody's reactions, his eyebrows are halfway up his head, and he just looks at Dakul like, wow, this is great. This is just great. And everything about the expression in the statement implies that it is not great. So,
Okay. Ellery, would you take a moment? I think I left my bag outside of the door. Would you go and get it for me? I just want to like with knowingly tell him to kind of like just stand outside just for a second, just so I can figure out what he's talking about. And then I'm gonna ask Boba exactly what this business is about. I think the kind of relationship that me and Ellery have is that we can both kind of like smell a rat. Well, I kind of learned it from him, to tell you the truth, because that's his world. He moves in and out of deception. So I pick up on that. I'm definitely going to pick up on his tone. And for me, as a warrior monk, I would think that let's just have one person by the door in case something goes crazy after we find out whatever this business is going to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you ask Bobal, like, what the deal is?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, the cool, I said, go ahead. Okay. Yeah, the cool, I came to you before the race. I said maybe you could help us out, see if we could win. We didn't win, but I mean, I did see that you helped us out. So I went to my boss because he knows things, right? He knows all kinds of things. And I told him your plight because, you're always looking for your moms, right? I mean,
yes.
I mean, you told me before, maybe you were drunk and you don't remember, but you told me that one night. And so I mentioned it to him, and he might know something. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying he might know something.
Any piece of information regarding the whereabouts of my mother or where she is from would be of vast importance. Please, let me know what you know.
Well, I mean, like I said, I know the guy that knows things, right? And so that's what I'm doing right now is I'm going to put you in with the guy that knows things, right? So I'm doing my end of the bargain.
Yes, I am completely on your side. Just off the nature of the cool, because he wants to know so bad this information, he would be completely blinded to this. So yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah. So like I said, I know the guy that knows things. It's my boss. It's the Don. You're gonna meet him. He's gonna come out, when he's ready. But I mean, like,
when he's
just
ready.
Between you and me, because we're friends. You see, right?
Uh-huh.
We're friends.
Yes.
He's probably gonna want something. I'm just saying, he's probably gonna want something. So, just letting you know that. You want anything? You need some. You like crackers? You want a cup of tea or something?
Is it all right if I take a moment to smoke a cigar?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to ask you to step outside. We can't let that. I mean, and you look around now, like, and this shop is very nice. Like, all the clothes in here are made from. Looks like they're all made from silk. Like, you see, like, just rows of silk shirts and, like, full suits. You see vests. Jacket and vest combos. You see a wall of just slacks. This is a place. It's very, very dimly lit. Most everything here is in kind of dark colors. But this is a nice place. The floor is carpeted and soft. You just kind of realize that looking down, like, it's probably the softest carpet you've ever felt in your life. All the trimmings around the register area is like gold trim on the finest wood that you've seen, and it this is a place built to impress and to get a point across.
Okay. All right. You said it would take some time for your boss to be here. Exactly how much time are we talking?
I mean, it's exactly as much time as the Don needs. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I said, I wasn't expecting you right away. You go. I mean, like I said, I can tell you where you want to go if you want to go places, what you want to do. But you just come back a little later, or you can just wait. It doesn't matter to me.
Let me take a moment to enjoy this quick cigar outside, and we will let you know in a quick moment. How close is Hilda E44? They're right beside me, right? Because I'm just assuming Elry is standing by the door on watch, right?
Yeah, I mean they're like right there at the door, right outside the door.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Hilda and EO4 and kind of give them that knowing look. Like, I'm gonna go outside, but you guys want to just. I'm just gonna go outside. If you guys want to come, cool. If y'all want to stay for a second, I gotta get these thoughts together. And my main thought man is my man Elry outside. So I just need to talk to him and just figure out from his years of being a bit of a trickster what angle we should play this. So yeah. So I'm gonna go outside where Elry is and roll up.
So Dakul goes outside with Elry, E, and Hilda. What are y'all doing? As you kind of see, Bobaloo just kind of sitting over there. He's like looking in a mirror, just like.
I think Hilda, she'll probably just hang out a little bit. So just be like, so what do y'all do for fun?
What do we do for fun?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how much function you have there, ma'am. But they got all what you need down there, beds, baths, and beyond. I'm gonna go over there a little bit later, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, that's not exactly what it meant. In my day with gnomes, we used to like dance and eat ice cream and have a nice time. But
food, yeah, food's right out here. If you go over here to the food court, there's plenty of stuff. You got the chop shop. Going to the Stalk and Eye. You gotta be in there. I'm not even gonna tell you why. You just gotta go. It's gonna blow your fucking mind.
Stalk, STALK or STOCK?
Stalk, yeah, STALK. The Stalk and Eye. It's the place with the big beholder on the door.
Oh, that one. That's
you trust me. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm not even gonna spoil the surprise.
All right. Well, I'll definitely give it a shot then, I guess, huh? What do you think, E?
He just said, I do not eat if that is a place that you go to eat, but if you want to go there, if they could look uncomfortable, they do. They look like a bull in a china shop, except it's a robot in a clothes store. So they're like, you can tell they're trying really hard not to touch anything.
That's probably a good thing. Yeah. Well, we're just gonna hang out, give our compatriots time to regroup a little bit, I think. Yeah.
All right. Go back out, or go outside the door there where Dakul is rolling up smoke, and you're there with Elry.
Elry, he has come to our attention that the man that has requested us is not here, which seems like a drastic waste of our time. Something obviously is not correct.
Sorry, we're behind you.
What do you think is going down?
It's a power play. They asked you here. He's not here yet. You got to wait for him. You got to, hang out or come back, and that's a sign of disrespect. These Dons, I mean, everything's a game, and everything's designed so whenever they talk, they kind of had it all figured out and all this nonsense. Make them come to you. You were here. You're just as important as the Don. You're the captain of the St. Stephen. You hang around with the coolest people on this rock. You were here. The Don missed you. He can come and send a messenger for you. That's my thought.
These are excellent words of advice. I feel like our time is too precious to spend dilly-dallying for a man who does not have the decency to be here on time. Let us leave and come back. Can I do like okay, so we're like in like this mall area. Is there, if I look up, since we're outside, is like the distance of the roof from where we are, is it really, really high? Is there a way that we can get to a back door per se? Like if I lifted Elry up so that he could run across the top, is any of that even look even conceivable?
As you look up, like the wall goes all the way to the ceiling, somewhere between 100, 120 feet up. and then it's just like a smooth, like square from wall to ceiling. It's just like square and smooth. And as you're over here and you're kind of looking down, the hallway kind of branches off goes down and curves to the right. But you can see like dwarves up on scaffolding, like smoothing out the rock. In certain places they're chiseling in little bas reliefs and engravings and everything. But yes, if there is some kind of back door, like inner workings, it is not accessible from out here.
Okay. All right. That was the main
just
question.
at a glance kind of tell that.
Okay.
Like there is no roof or anything. It's just this door going in.
All right. Then I'm gonna go back in and grab Hilda and E404 and we're gonna figure out what the next move is gonna be. So going in, Hilda, E404. Thank you for allowing us to take this small break of tobacco type products. Sorry about that. We are ready to move on, and I'll look to to Bobaloo and say, we are the champions of the Dawn Rose. It will be quite easy to find us. When your boss is ready to make business, please tell him to find us.
Okay. Yeah. We'll send somebody when here in a bit. But like I said, go enjoy, see the sights.
Thank you for your time.
And he just like really doesn't ever look up from a mirror as he's like getting ready, like pulling his hair back.
Okay. I am sorry, team. I was hoping this lead would have been more fruitful at this particular time, but we must return.
Don't worry about it. This is exactly what they wanted. They got you here. They saw who you brought with you. They now know what they're facing. If they decide, you helped me, but we didn't win. You could have helped us win. Whatever. They're going to come in. They're either going to kill us or they're going to talk to us. So, and we got E404, and I saw Hildy kill 2 of those freaking sharks. 2 in like 3 seconds. Bring them on.
Yes. We are quite the badass.
Well, they are. I'm not speaking for myself, but they're pretty
Even
cool.
more so true. Captain Hilda.
Yeah.
What do you believe should be our next move? In E404 with your amazing scanning and mechanical ability. What is it that we shall do next?
What do you think first? I think it's important that you start telling us more. Get used to showing it off. What do you think?
Oh boy. You look at the others and say, what do you normally do in places like this? I have never been to what you call shopping.
Well, I think that we should do selling. I think we should go see those people about the St. Stephen before they get weird. And we should get gold because that's our boat. And they want to talk about it.
If you want to be a shot caller, you must have the gold to represent. Let us see what we can do with this boat that we have been so blessed to acquire.
Then to the diplomacy offices. And they look to Hilda for approval. Was that making a choice?
That was an excellent choice, E. I think it's a good one.
Let's get paid.
Let's make
All
some
right,
money.
so y'all duck back around the corner and head right across the hall, kind of diagonal, to the diplomatic offices. And it's as you get closer, you get to see a double set of very finely crafted doors, with, and you see like a table kind of inscribed down, or carved into the wood, with like elf and dwarf, human, all races kind of sitting around a table, and that's just kind of like carved into the door as you open up, and inside the main office itself is a long narrow, or not narrow, but a long rectangular room with a large table nobody's sitting at currently, and there's office doors dotting each side of this long rectangular room, and door at the opposite end also. Looks like you have about 4 doors on each side, and there's quiet murmuring coming from open doors. Go ahead and give me a perception check, would you?
A
Everybody?
19.
Everybody.
Yeah, that's a 19 from E.
I only got a 5.
Okay.
18 from Ellery.
12.
12. Okay. Yeah. So Hilda and Dakul are kind of enamored with the craftsmanship of this table in the middle, and along the above the doors, there's like a row of like ivy that seems like it's almost growing out of the walls. It kind of gives it a kind of a homey feel in here. At least there's some life amongst the stone. But both E and Elry notice kind of in the back left, you clearly see the plate that says like ambassador to FTL. And it's about that time that someone, a young human woman, comes out, dressed in very simple but elegant dress. She has a small like a parchment pad, and she's like writing. It's like, yes, can I help you? You here to see someone in particular?
We are here. We are accompanying the captain of the St. Stephen. We are here to discuss salvage rights with the powers that be.
Oh, and do you know the ambassadors? Would that be Ambassador Sill?
Yes, the ambassador to the FTL.
Yes, and she motions at the door that y'all noticed, and it's kind of the last office down on the left. She's like, yes, she's in her office down here. I can show you. And she ushers you over, and you walk past the long table, and get right outside her office. The door is open, and inside you see behind a simple but well crafted desk, very few adornments on top, some parchment she's looking at, and she seems to be talking to someone sitting across from her. And there's you see the kind of the back of a matronly woman, probably in her, you're not really sure, maybe her 70s, 80s, human, very wrinkled skin, gray hair pulled back in a tight bun. Her robes are elegant and the deepest of blue, with kind of gold trimming. On her hands, you see various rings and bracelets. At her waist, kind of a gold tassel belt with belt pouch hanging, a couple of belt pouches hanging from it. Propped up on the wall next to her is a finely crafted wooden staff that topped with kind of a eagle's claw clutching a golden egg. And her and Ambassador Sill are looks like they're exchanging pleasantries like old friends. As y'all approach, the young lady helping is like, oh, Ambassador Sill, I believe these people are here to see you. And she looks up. Oh, yes, please, come in. We're here to discuss this, are we? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Please come into my office. It's lightly cramped, but there's a couple of seats here. If you'd, and she motions to Hilda, if you would like to take a seat. There's 3 other chairs. There was 4 total, and she introduces as this older matronly woman begins to stand. She's like, "And may I introduce the Grand Magus of the Magate Acadium, Skylar Cerrone." And this woman like grabs her staff and kind of like stands up and turns towards you. And even though she's older, she stands straight, and she's like, "Well met. You want to get this business done? Because I do."
Ellery gives a very respectful, but a very like a curt bow, like just a nod of his head. No wasted movement, no flowery bow. She is a being of purpose, and he is giving her the respect deserved of that, but also keeping it brief. And he, instead of taking a seat, jumps up on the shoulders of E404 and wraps his legs around her neck. Salvage rights.
Yes, I was quite taken aback when you claimed that. But I cannot deny you did commandeer the ship. You and my son were able to save those people. I appreciate that. Actually knew one of them that you saved. The second cousin. Told her not to move out there, away from the safe walls of Nero's gates, but wouldn't listen. That's fine. So I am indebted to you. Now, are you willing to sell? Because the Magate Acadium is willing to buy.
And he looks over.
By the way, who's the captain here? Who should I be talking to?
Captain DeCool.
I am the captain of the ship. However, Ellery is the voice of my decisions.
All right. I'll talk to you both. What you have here is one of the best finds I've seen in quite a while. We've been looking to get one of these ships for a while. And now we got one. We want to keep it. So, and she just like reaches down and pulls a belt pouch that, it looks pretty full. And she drops it down on the table, like right in front of you. And it hits with a thud that belies its size. She's like, "So, here's the Magate Acadium's offer. That right there, the contents of that pouch and the pouch itself."
Ellery looks at the pouch, and without raising his eyebrows, he says, "Oh, so you want to lease?"
Nope. We're looking for straight purchase. We want rights to this thing straight up. But
for a whole Neogi Death Spider.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you looked in the pouch yet?
Do I have to?
Oh, I can just tell you. That's fine. I just wanted you to look for yourself.
Sure. Go ahead and tell me. I trust you.
No, okay. Well,
Grand Magus.
Yes, the Grand Magus. I earned it. All right. Well, we'll give you 10,000 right now. Plus, in the future, if you have need of the Magate Acadium library or resources, you have free reign to have those. If you have any services that you need, whether it's identifying, detecting, removing curses, whatever it be, any arcane need, you can come to us. The 4 of you. It was just the 4 of you that were part of the crew, yes?
Yes, it was us that were the founding members of our find. With the use of the additional privileges outside of the cost of the bag of money that you have shown us, is this use unlimited?
That's lifetime.
Very interesting.
This is a one-time offer. This is non-negotiable.
Oh, well, everything's negotiable. You just send a letter if it's non-negotiable. It's if you show up yourself.
I
we're
wanted to
having a
look you in the
conversation.
eye. I wanted to look you in the eye and tell you it was non-negotiable.
You could have written that on a letter.
Yes,
We would've-
but well, I wanted to
Okay.
make sure you knew who you were talking to. Anybody can write a letter.
Sure, they can. So it's 10,000 and unlimited wizard stuff.
Pretty much.
Before Elry continues, he turns and looks at everybody else. The eyebrow that cocks over his left eye says, "I'm going to do something stupid soon. You may want to stop me."
E can't see this because Elry's on top of them.
Dakulu knows how this situation typically plays out. My friend is quite insane, but most times it always works out in our favor. I will roll in any direction that you take me to. Hilda. I'm going to give a knowing look to Hilda like, maybe we should let him work this.
Hilda agrees. Let's see where you're going with it, buddy.
I believe that, and he turns back around, the eyebrow lowers, and he faces the Grand Magus and says, "I believe that your offer is incredibly fair,
So you'll take it then.
with one added caveat. You are a person of great power, great influence. This is not me spouting pleasantries. This is statement of fact. 10,000 unlimited wizard stuff. And I would like my captain, Hildy, to be named captain of the Dawn Rose.
She
And we have a deal."
She arcs an eyebrow at that. She arches an eyebrows like,
I don't like to swing from the masts of somebody's ship that I don't know. She knows me. She can feel like I'm flying around on top of her. She's comfortable with that, because she's plugged into the chair. I feel kind of weird when I'm doing it with somebody that I don't really know real well. So it's kind of a comfort thing for me too. Personal favor.
well, I'll tell you what.
Captain Ledbetter would make a great first mate. Hey, no argument there.
Well, I was going to counter with, what if I made her first mate? I could pull the strings and have that done right away.
Well, that's not a captain. And we have a Yogi Death Spider, and you're very influential. And I bet you with 2 snaps, you can make her captain, as opposed to 1 snap that would make her first mate.
At this, she turns to Dakul, like, how would you characterize your experience with the ship that you flew, the Nyogi Spider?
It is a ship with an unearthly personality. It is beautiful and fast and powerful. However, it embodies a soul of something that is otherworldly, magnificent and graceful, fast and powerful. But you will have to contend with the soul and essence of its being.
And how would you characterize your actual interaction though? Like, would you call it pleasant?
It was a jarring experience, to say the least.
Yeah.
However, once she chooses you, you have been chosen. You should take joy in that choosing.
Yeah. I have 2 mages in the infirmary right now. Very limited experience interacting with it. They're screaming all
I
night,
am-
having nightmares.
I am just a simple man, a simple monk
Mm-hmm.
who has done small practicing, and I was able to put this magnificent and glorious ship and rein her in. And I know I am nowhere near at the amazement of your mages. Controlling this ship should not be a problem for mages of their stature.
Well, they could control it. It just laid them up for a while. It's painful. Screaming all night. Screaming about being ripped in half. Any of that?
I have a time or two of a flashback. But who has not had a flashback in their life of previous unpleasant experiences? What we are talking about is a means to an end. And this ship can provide that end.
Yep. I want to unlock it.
And by you mean
So-
unlock? Are you
Unlock-
looking in my direction as for need of help?
Oh, you're the only other person that has flown it. I want to know what happened. That's why I'm asking you. I only know what happened to my two mages last night.
I
Who tried
became
to interface with it. One of
I
them
became-
immediately fell on the ground and started screaming. The second one flew around for a minute, and when he disconnected, he fell down and started screaming. So,
my experience was a rough start. When I became one with the ship, it was not met with open arms. I will not lie to you. But I am not a mage. I am just a humble monk. There has got to be many people within your fold and flock that are much more experienced in the land of Arcane and can connect to the ship at a faster pace than I am capable of.
perhaps you have a wisdom that is better suited for this type of thing. This isn't a normal spelljammer, so.
Are you saying that the finale to finalize this decision of our trade with this ship determines on how quickly I can train your people to fly this particular ship? What
Oh no,
is
just
that
getting
you
a
are
measure of you.
asking of me?
No, I'm just getting a measure of you. Trying to figure out the kind of man you are.
He's
I
not
know.
screaming.
I am a humble man standing before you, alive and well, who has flown the ship that you so desperately want. I am not crazy. I am here, and I am happy.
All right, so it is possible. That's all I want to know.
Yes, it is.
I'm not going to spend
possible.
this much money and resources on a hunk of junk. It's just going to fry the brain of every person I put in it.
No, sir. Oh, if that were true, I would not be standing in front of you today.
You just call me sir?
It is a level of respect that has been taught to me by my dwarven monk masters.
Okay. I'll try ma'am next time.
No, you do not seem to be a ma'am to me today. However, what you do on your off time as a ma'am is not up to me.
Okay. Sure. Trey, you know she's a woman, right?
Oh, sugar. My bad. I missed that little part.
I was a little
Hey.
confused there. I'm like,
Don't mess
oh,
up.
sorry. That's all right.
It
It's all
appears
good.
I have taken deep of a drag of my cigarette.
Elry steps in and he says, "You see how his perceptions are limitless. Perhaps this is how he was able to capture the Death Spider. Who knows? Perhaps it's an avenue of approach for your endeavors. But the gold, limitless wizard stuff. My captain is that captain on the Dawn Rose. Deal."
She kind of mulls it over for a minute, looks over at the ambassador, Zofia Sill, who just kind of is sitting there like eyebrows raised, like looking between this, because, you know, she's just offered her office for this. Well, gonna have a talk with Ledbetter. He's a good dwarf. Might see reason. Would you be willing for this to be a probationary period, at least at first?
We will absolutely accept Ledbetter on a probationary period. If he doesn't work out, we will gladly send him letters of recommendation if he doesn't work out as first mate. Agreed.
Well, and she looks over at Hilda. If Hildegard, which is a name I know. I've heard of you. Your expeditions, and she kind of looks over at E at that. I'll talk to Ledbetter. If you do good on the first few missions we send you on, see about making it permanent. It's the best I can do right now.
I'll take good care of her. And all of you.
And she looks from Hilda to Elry and Dakul.
I'm just the voice. You need to talk to the captains.
You will always be my captain.
So is this are you amenable to this, Dakul?
I am amenable to this.
All right, I'll go talk to Ledbetter. And she just with that, she leaves the pouch on Zofia Sill's desk and walks out of the room with a purposeful stride, with the clack of her staff, every step. You just hear this. And with that, Zofia Sill's like, so, Captain?
Yeah, you want to go talk about taking away my first mate?
Well, did say I would not meet with him until after lunch, so she kind of looks over at the bag, looks back at y'all, seems like y'all have some time to kill.
Let's have some lunch. Somebody told me we should go to the Stalk and Eye.
Oh, yes. Oh, do say hello to Gerard for me.
Gerard. You want to join us?
Oh, I would love to, but sadly I must prepare myself for this afternoon's business, if you don't mind. But I wish you well, and you need if there's anything in particular you're looking for, and any around the rock can help you find your heart's desire.
Thank you kindly, Ambassador Zill.
May the light shine on you all. She kind of nods, standing to give a little bit of a curtsy.
I guess we head out.
Elry, your first 5 drinks are on me.
I am still sort of drunk. So
It's literally 9:30 in the morning.
right.
Yeah. Actually, E will grab the pouch that's still
Okay.
on the desk.
Oh yeah, that wasn't.
Yes, that would be excellent. Yes. And
I'll sit there
huge drink for Hilda.
I'm gonna need a new coat very soon. Buttons.
Yeah, brass buttons. Something.
Epaulets. I'm thinking shoulders.
Big ones.
Nice big hat.
I could stand on them. I mean, they could just be big. I could potentially stand on them.
You could do that. You could be as tall as Dakul.
Right.
Day shall never come. Hey, we got paid, everybody.
We got paid.
Pruitt, there's one other thing I wanted to ask about. Who do we talk to about getting our cut of the space sharks?
Oh, yes. You can, Zofia Sills, you can go to the customs office. They handle such things with the harbor master. out there. So, or the dock master, excuse me. There's no harbor. But yes, you can go see the dock master, and there are standing fares for bringing in such things. Plus, that meat is very delectable. What color were they, by the way?
Dead.
Yes. Well, hopefully, one would think, right?
Red now, I guess. But anywho, I'll go outside and talk to that person.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go get our cut. Let's
Yes.
go have some brunch. Let's have a fancy brunch.
Let us spend some of our winnings. Yes.
Okay. So, you pick up the pouch. It's about big, and tied off at the top. And you head out of the offices, and directly to your right is the customs office, where you see a studious dwarf like writing stuff down on his pad right outside. He's looking up out, opens the door to the front door to the rock and comes back in. Looks like he's waiting on something.
Elry will make this quick and just stalk into the office and right up to the dwarf, and he'll say, "Hey, how you doing? Just came in on the Dawn Rose. We killed 5 of those sky sharks. We get a 2/3 straight cut on the price, and we get our portion of the share of the crew's 1/3. How much is that?"
And he's sitting there and he's like, yep, yeah, Captain Ledbetter told me about that. And he reaches down.
First mate said better, but that's neither here nor there.
He just looks at you, pauses, and then plops down a pouch of coins. He's like, "That's your cut right there. Sounds above board. That's what he told me. Yep. It's about 50 gold."
50? Is this contain our cut for the crew as well?
Yeah, that's cut with the crew and everything.
Well, what's the going rate on a head of one of these sky space sharks? We killed 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're 10 gold apiece.
Well, they're actually 8 gold, and they're 8 gold, and then the remainder is the cut from the crew, the third, and that brings it up to 50.
That's awful. When these things come and ravage this place, it's not even worth our time to even go out and kill these things. All right.
Oh,
is there a list somewhere that says the stated? I'll trust you. You seem to have a clipboard and everything. So he walks back outside.
I'm official.
This guy just can I insight check this guy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was almost a natural 20. Son of a bitch. 9.
9? Seems to be above board.
I still don't trust him. Damn it.
You feel lucky?
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it, dude. 16 plus 17.
Oh, he's bullshitting you. Yeah.
Okay, so he turns around and with his mage hand, he pushes the clipboard down.
So the guy's writing. He just looks around. He's like,
"Are you stealing from us?"
What? I'm sorry? Stealing?
That's a question. I asked you, "Are you stealing from us?" And you say, "Yes." Is your answer. Your next line is yes.
I've never stolen from anyone. He looks around. Wait, were those brown scavers?
I don't give a shit what color they were.
Well, it's important. I mean, obviously, it's important what color they are. There's different color scavers, and there's a price.
What's the most expensive one?
Well, I mean, they were brown, right?
Yes.
Okay,
that's it. That's the one we had. And now
merely a misunderstanding.
Absolutely. And now, because we've had this misunderstanding, there were 5 of them that may have been killed, but now you're going to write down in your little clipboard 10. and you're going to give us 10 heads of these scaver sharks before we leave here, because we know a bunch of important people, and we're going to come back here with a fireball and blow this place to shit. So whether or not you think that this is a smart idea at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, I mean, are you ready to die by noon?
Dakul takes his shades that he always has, and he takes them up for the first time, because normally he's light sensitive, so that you can see nothing but the all white of his eyes. And I want him to stare this man into his soul and say, I believe you should reconsider.
I think this is intimidating as fuck, especially considering you also have a robot in the background.
Yeah, go ahead.
Towering 6'2".
Dakul, go ahead and give me an intimidate check with advantage.
Okay. 20.
And this guy, you see him pull a kind of a handkerchief out as sweat is beginning to dot his brow and his upper lip, and he kind of wipes it out of his beard. And
the mage hand pushes the handkerchief down. You don't get to sweat and wipe it off right now.
My ink is running. I'm sorry. Like I said, it was merely a misunderstanding. It was 10. You said brown scavers, so that
10.
The going rate for those is actually it's actually 20 gold. And so that would be 200 plus the third from the thing. So it's an even 250. So and he turns around and opens a coffer and starts counting out. He's actually counting out platinum pieces to make it a little quicker. And
as he's counting, as he gets to 5, when he gets to 5, Elry goes 3.
Okay, he has to start over. He's like, kind of.
As soon as he gets to 5 again, Elry goes 3, as if that's only as many as he's been to.
And he finally counts it all out, and he, here you go. Here's your due.
He takes that bag and the bag that he was originally promised of the 50 gold. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day. And he kind of turns around in a huff.
Have a good lunch.
It's breakfast
And
time.
it's still 9:30 a.m. It's 9:30 a.m. and we have already sold off her ship for really good things, have gotten the Dawn Road, and have also extorted a guy. You know.
All of this
typical 9:30.
It's not about 9:45 now. So, it's getting about brunch time. As this time is going on, there's traffic is picked up as more ships are pulling in and more crews are offloading. So remains to be seen where to first.
I cannot lie. I am quite interested to see what these scientists can do. These mage arcane experts could possibly help upgrade and make some of the things that we are currently carrying much better.
Oh, I'm wondering what my new chief of security, Elry. You got that shit on lockdown. What do you want to do? I think you've earned your keep for the day.
I'm done. Oh, I'm spent. I'm still half drunk. I'm really sick. I'm hungry. What was that stock place? The Stock and I, or the fucking stock? What's that called? Right? Yeah, that one. Let's go there.
Yeah. Let's have ourselves a bougie brunch. It's gonna be great. Let's go.
I agree.
Okay. So you head down the main area here, and you're walking up close to the fountain. Walking around it, you see little sculptures around the bottom. Looks like the typical of what you've seen both on Neros 4 and here. There's like elves, dwarves, humans all working together, like building. It's really trying to put forth an air of unity. There's a simple fountain here, just spritzing water in the air as you pass by. And you're moving kind of into the food court area. And there's many businesses, both left and right, to eat. But straight ahead of you is this. It dominates the end of this hall. It's just this giant beholder head, like kind of rusty red, and its tentacles are all sticking up and ending in these wide eyes. It's got this big toothy grin. It's almost inviting, which is kind of makes it a little creepier. But yeah, that's what you see as you're approaching the end of this hallway here. And above the door, it just says in big bold letters, "Stalk and I." Yeah, y'all go ahead and enter.
Yes.
Alrighty. So you move up to the door, and you can kind of see on each side of there's a split, of course, right down the middle, and you see kind of a tooth that's actually like 3-dimensional that is a handle for each side of the door. And you pull the doors open, and it turns out like the doors are only the body of the beholder itself, as it kind of swings inward, revealing a large area. There's a short set of stairs that kind of go down, open in the middle. There's actually some drunk people, probably drunk from the night before, still kind of dancing as some low music is playing. There's tables that dot in kind of a grid pattern on either side of this open area as the stairs go down. And at the back of the bar, it's only about 100 feet away, 100 feet deep. There's a wide bar, and behind the bar is a beholder. And most of his stalks kind of run along his head and behind him. Only a couple of stalks are up, that are actually up and looking around. You see him like look over at like a drink on a table, and with it as his eyes looking up at you, and he looks up as the drink itself looks like somebody just finished and left some money. You see the drink and the money lift up in the air, and he levitates it up and brings it over to the bar and puts it down at the end where an attendant comes up and starts cleaning the glass and doing everything. And he's looking around and looks up at you as you come in, and hello, welcome to the Stock and I. I'm Drod. Please come forward.
I'm definitely coming forward.
And there's not a lot of people in here. Like I said, there's a few drunks that are still dancing. There's a couple of people at a table, eating. But it's mostly the Stock and I is mostly empty here this early in the morning. So what do y'all do?
I don't know what to say. Freaking beholder casually behind the bar.
I have only heard of these beholders. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I'm going to do is walk up to the bar, buy a round of drinks for my entire crew, and then give this beholder a nice tip to go and pull out my sketch pad and ask him so plainly, I have never seen the likes of you. May I please sketch you?
Oh, well, I don't mind if you do. What are you having to drink?
These 3 members of my crew are the most amazing members. They can have whatever it is they want. Top shelf.
Oh, top shelf, you say, huh?
Yes.
Is this your first time here?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well then let me be probably not the first to welcome you to the Rock. We want any and all to come and visit what we have and what we've built here. It's been quite nice having all the commerce come through.
I am.
And as he's talking to you, like you see like that same eye, like swing back to the bar and pull like a bottle of very fine liqueur come down. I mean, it's in this like fluted bottle that's all like these multiple angles to it, and it looks like there's like kind of a glass figurine of like almost like vines going around it. The liqueur itself is kind of a green, which kind of gives the bottle a color of like ivy and fresh, fresh grass, whatever. And he pours it over and pours like 3 drinks. And like I said, he's doing all of this away from his main view here. And then he kind of like looks over and he's like, "There you are. So, what are you planning on doing here?"
Right now, we are just celebrating a great victory amongst us. One of our members has just had a promotion, and we want to celebrate her.
Promotion, you say?
Yes. Yes, she. Do not let the dwarven state fool you. She is a magnificent captain of the sky and space, and we are here to celebrate her future victories, along with our fellow companion E404, the great Elry Tossbottle, and to everyone within the bar. As he rolls up another one of his lovely cigarettes, I want everyone to know and speak of Hildegard the Great, for she shall be etching her name across the sky soon enough.
Oh, you don't say. And he kind of like turns his head like towards Hildegard, and you see him like kind of look over at like a candle that's lit, and he lights a small little piece of wood that lights up, and he brings it over in front of Dakul as he sees him rolling the cigarette up, and never stops talking while he's doing this. Like, "Oh, you're the captain, you say, huh?"
Oh my God, Pruitt. Okay, Hilda totally keeps her shit together. She's like, "Yeah, I am the captain now. It's nice to meet you. This is the most interesting day."
"No, you don't say, huh? It's first time meeting a beholder?"
Actually, no. But it's the first time that might be pleasant. It's the first time there's smoke and drink involved. So that's always pretty nice.
What do you? And he kind of looks you up and down. He's like, you probably, you're alive in the last war, I take it.
Yep, I was pretty young, but I do remember it.
Yeah, well, I was a young pup too, back in those days. I was taken right at the end of the war.
Taken?
Yeah, taken prisoner. And, after a while, I proved myself, and, eventually was gifted this bar.
I was wondering how it was that a beholder would end up here, and nobody seems terrified or concerned.
Well, and he kind of motions, and now you look, and there is like underneath his neck, there is like a circlet that runs along the bottom of his kind of globular body, and you see him kind of pivot around, and his other eyes are, I mean, for lack of a better description, they basically kind of look like cornrows a little bit as they run behind his head and move back. And when he turns around, you see that each of the other stalks like end in what I can only describe as basically like a handcuff for an eyeball. Like they're these well-made golden receptacles that each eye kind of sits in, and there's a band around it. And he's like, "So as you see, they only let me keep out these two eyes, and so I understand it's trust only gets you so far, but I have this to move things around, and if things get rowdy, I can slow people, and so I make a living. I do all right for myself." And he kind of turns around and it's like, "Get up here!" It's like, "I've been looking for my bar back all morning. He's probably down in the sewers drinking again."
Can I ask you an honest question? Talk to a lot of people. Like to have honest conversations. Hilda's gonna get in real close as she takes her first shot, and she's gonna say, "What would you do if you didn't have to wear that?"
No, you know, I don't know that I'd do anything. This is all I've really known. I mean, I was kind of kept in isolation for a while. I'm not even sure how long. Or finally, they started talking to me. Once they realized they couldn't get any information out of me at the end of the war, I pretty much just kind of hung out. Some of them wanted to kill me, mostly the elves. The dwarves, they didn't really care. I was kind of kept in one habitat, then another. And I was brought here to help with the construction of this place. Since, you know, he kind of like, see his eye kind of roll up. He's like, you know, I can do a lot, disintegrating and whatnot. And I helped build this place. And as a reward, they furnished me with this bar. And so I tend it. This is pretty much my life now. And I see all kinds of people come and go. Elves, dwarves, the dragonkin. And looks over at Elry. Yeah, even halflings rousting about the stars.
Elry wants to, before we get too far, Elry wants to insight when Hildy asked him what he would do without those, and he said, I'm not much of anything. He wants to insight that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if he was... Oh shit, it's a 19. 20. Dirty 20.
He seems earnest. He's very happy-go-lucky. He doesn't like... Y'all have probably only ever heard stories from the last war. I mean, this is like 2.5 centuries ago, 250 years since the last war ended, and like the Beholders pushed humanity to the brink of extinction. They almost broke elves and the Elven and Dwarven empires simultaneously and destroyed the human empire in this part of the galaxy, right? So all you've ever heard is hate and vitriol. And even like on Neros 4, there was a beholder that it was only about 30, 40 years ago that they finally like burned him out of his temple. His name was Goz. And he was left behind after the war, and pretty much everybody just stayed away because it was over in the Sea of Fallen Sky. So it was very like that area of the world was like tainted from all the Beholder fleet that crashed to the planet at the end of the war. In the very last battle over Neros 4, the majority of the Beholder fleet was burned out of the sky and crashed down in this bay area, and actually like created the Sea of Fallen Sky a little bit. And so you just know stories, and it's the same every time. Beholders are these evil, they're these devils in the sky in space, and all they want to do is kill and murder. And what's floating in front of you couldn't be further from the truth, from that truth that has been told to you. And like I said, Elry, this guy, he seems on the level. Like he's just sitting here tending bar. You see him just kind of rubbing a rag over a glass over here with just, it's floating in air, and there's just a rag kind of scrubbing a glass, and then puts it up on the shelf behind him. And some more people come in, and he looks up. He's like, welcome to the Stock and Eye, and turns his attention back to y'all at the bar.
Yeah, for Elry, as soon as he passes the insight check, Elry's fine.
Hilda will take one look at him and tell him, I genuinely hope you have the chance to do things that you wish to do, and I'm glad that you're here. We should probably get my halfling friend something to eat, because if he has anything to drink without anything else on his stomach, he might literally die.
Oh, yes, let me, that damned barback, he's disappeared on me. And he calls, you see him kind of call down behind him, like over to his left, you see a door that kind of goes back. There's a door to the back, and he's, Hamilton, get out here! He's been gone for hours now. Actually kind of worried about him.
You want us to find him?
Well, I mean, you're customers. I mean, I I mean, I can't.
Well, I tell you what.
I can't fit back there. Actually, I mean, it's kind of. I just have to yell at him. He, like I said, sometimes he goes down in the basement, and it's adjacent to the sewers, and he likes to go down there and take a nip off the bottle. You know what I'm saying? So, wouldn't be the first time I sent someone down and found him passed out in the sewers.
I do know what you're saying. Now, if we go down there, how about we make it a party? We get a bottle service. First bottle on you, my good far-sighted friend. And what's the name of this barback you have down there?
His name's Hamilton. He's a good-for-nothing little human.
How much do you pay him a day?
Pay him a day. He gets standard barback rates. 1 gold plus, I believe he gets 1/25 of the door and 1/10 of the tips. It averages out to about 2-3 gold.
We'll take the bottle and everything he was supposed to get today, and we'll go down and get him and bring him back up here so you can read him his rights or whatever you're gonna do to him.
At that, like Drod's his other eye that he hasn't been using just kind of comes down and rubs his chin a little bit. You've got a quick tongue there, little one. I like the cut of your jib. I'll tell you what. I'll give you this bottle, and the one that he basically already had been pouring. So I'll give you the rest of this bottle, and I'll give you Hamilton's pay for the day. If you can go down and drag that good-for-nothing slouch and get him back to work so you can eat.
Right, because I threw up literally all along the side of the Dawn Rose. It was beautiful. It was immaculate, and I painted the whole port side. I'm talking the whole thing. I doubt they've noticed it yet because they docked it away. But when they do, there's going to be hell to pay.
Oh, so, tell me about it. Pretty much every meal I regurgitate. It's quite hefty sometimes.
I don't doubt it because you don't have a stomach or anything. You're basically a floating face. No offense.
I guess you're very perceptive, little one. Yes.
Okay. Well, listen, if we go down there and there's some really it's almost like The Witcher 3 when you go after a griffin in your first level and there's a red X above whatever we're supposed to see down there. Can we run back upstairs? Because I know I sure as shit am. So
I'm not really sure the reference you're talking, but if it's too dangerous, please don't put yourself in harm's way. I just I told his mom I'd look after him. She's passed on. But I just feel a need to look after the boy. And maybe I'm a little too lenient with the drink.
We'll go get your little drunkard. I have a feeling it's not going to be the last time for me.
Wait a minute. You're saying that your barback Hamilton's mom passed away? Did she go quick?
She went quickly and quietly.
Oh. Okay. Just checking because that's part of the song. All right.
I wish I knew it. I'm sorry.
Okay. But his mama went quick. Okay. Yeah. I'm done.
Okay. Well, he motions for. There's a door off to the right that leads to behind the bar, so he just motions if you just go in there and you'll see a trap door going down to the basement. And he went down there a couple hours ago and just hasn't been back up. So
I am almost finished with this drawing, which I want to give to you as a gift, as a token of our appreciation for allowing us to drink in your bar. I have never seen the likes of you so happy and helping. So I want to give you this drawing as a token of saying thank you. Now, Elry, now that I am finished with this particular drawing, I will happily go with you to find where Mr. Hamilton may be.
Okay. And and actually draw it. He's like, speaking of token, do you mind? And he kind of like takes an eye and kind of points at your lit cigar, or your lit little cigarette.
Oh, most certainly, my friend. Nothing could make this day any more different and appealing than to smoke out with the likes of you.
Okay.
He takes one more hard tug off of it for himself, and then he passes it to the left for good measure. Straight to him.
And so, yeah, you just kind of hold it out, and it just kind of leaves your fingers as his eye. He's keeping his main eye looking over here, and he kind of looks at it, and it motions over, and then kind of goes right up to his mouth, and he just, and you just watch it just disappear and just into nothing, and just ash falls to the bar, and he. And you see his giant eye, the pupil kind of just like get a little bit bigger. Oh, wow, that's premium grade. Forester's Hollow? Yes?
Yes, most certainly. I cannot take full credit for myself. For the growing of the plants falls heavily within my gnomish friends and, of course, my dwarven ancestors.
Yes. They know how to grow a good crop. Well, at any time you're ready, like I said, he motions for there's a door to the end of the bar on the left, and, but by all means, have a drink, be merry.
I want to, who snatched up that bag of gold again? Because I am going to be relying on that. Hey, E404, I'm going to look at E404 and be like, could you pay the tab?
Yeah, he will be like, well,
that
I
bag
am
of platinum.
Yeah. Yeah, so like Ellery has the two small pouches and E has the bigger one. And E will just calculate and just figure that out. And
Okay, and you open the pouch, yes?
yes.
Okay, yeah, you open the pouch up and look in, and like you have to like look down a little bit, but you see just like you see quite a bit of surface area of gold looking down, and you reach your arm down into the pouch, like it goes basically like elbow deep before you finally get to the gold, and you grab a few coins and pull them out. Oh, well then.
Would I know? Is this a bag of holding, my friend? Pruitt?
Actually, it is, and he kind of, and that's at that moment he like looks over at you, and the bag spews out all the gold as the beholder looks at you, and then like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, and he realizes, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I can't turn that off. As his anti-magic eye like went over the bag of holding, it became a normal bag, and all shot out of the opening. So 9,994 gold shoot out across the bar.
Shit.
And and Drod is like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And at this point he turns his body so the eye is facing back to the bar. And with his other eye, he begins looking and using telekinesis to pick up globs of the gold and start kind of putting it back into the open bag as you're holding it. And so it's going to take a minute, but
okay. As this, he's just like wide-eyed, if they could be, at everything. To be like, when you have a moment, Jod, I would like to rewrite my current files on beholders to include you.
Oh, I would be honored. Yes. Probably don't see too many of us around here. I'm not sure if there are any. I might be the last one.
No, I have only read about beings like you. They do not say kind things.
I'm sure they don't. I'm sure it's every description of awful that can be imagined. My kin waged a horrible war, and I'm not going to lie. I've had to bear the brunt of most negative reactions and repercussions of my kin's actions. But most around here know that I'm good folk, and I don't have those tendencies. So I hope that you can see that all I want to do is serve a drink and keep on lookout.
That is a logical conclusion, considering your behavior thus far.
Yes. Besides, I mean, you know, you could kill everybody, but it's hard to sell a drink to the dead, and I've made a lot of money, so I like the way I've done it, and my kin can keep to their ways.
Yeah, I'm guessing at this point the gold has been swept back into
Yeah, it's
the
about
bag
now
holding.
that, you know, he's literally just like grabbing globs of gold and just as they're just like filling it up, and oh wait, the one fell behind the bar. Hold on. He picks up this last one. It's like, yeah, so the tab came out to it's gonna be 8 silver. Yeah, 8 silver for the 4 drinks.
Well, how about we tab that until we go down and find Hamilton, and perhaps that tab can disappear as part of Hamilton's pay.
Again, I like the cut of this one's jib. He knows how to strike a bargain.
Well, then, friends, we should head downstairs. Should we not?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I am feeling quite well right now. So let us move forward and find Hammy.
Okay.
Somebody, get a bucket just in case. Shall we? Bring a bucket. Bucket. Yes.
For the cold water?
Maybe. Possibly. That's not what I was thinking. But
That's what you did with Ellery this morning.
that's true, and then it's more about what Ellery did after that. That's why we need the bucket.
I still do not understand why people do this to themselves.
Most people drink to forget, E. Most people drink to forget.
Or they drink
Oh.
to pretend. I drink to pretend.
I do not need drinks to forget. I do not think. He kind of just shrugs this off and just goes to the door.
Okay, so y'all go to the door. You know, of course, on the door it says employees only in like common and a couple of other languages. And you push in, and you know it's behind a bar, so there are just shelves on each side with looks like boxes filled with various bottles of liqueur. Over to one side, you know, there's a couple of kegs on stands for distributing various libations, and then over in the corner, you see like a trap door with the door raised, as the one that Drod indicated, that heads down to the basement where they keep some of the items that need to be kept cooler.
You want me to jump down there?
Maybe I should go, just in case.
Can you be sneaky?
Not as sneaky as you.
That's right.
You know what? You jump, and by the glow of this cigar, we shall find our way.
I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go stealth and try to go down in there, Pruitt.
Okay, so you approach the trap door, and even as you approach here, you kind of feel like an updraft of cooler air coming from the basement down below. But looking down, there right now there is no light down here. There's a couple of candles lit on the walls here, or lanterns, excuse me, not candles. Lanterns lit on the walls in here, but the light quickly fades, going down into the basement itself, into darkness.
Can
Okay.
we see? Do we know that it's that dark as well, or only Elry is knows.
I mean, where you're all standing, it's a pretty big storeroom. So, like, you know, if you get once you get closer to it, you can see that there's no light down there. There is some light cast like at an angle. So, when you get up close, that's when you can kind of see looking down into the darkness.
Dakul feels a slight bit of comfort, recognizing that where they may be going will be limited light, and he takes his glasses off of his eye and sets them on the top of his head.
Okay. And cool, you go and look down there too?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna
Okay.
leave my boy down there
So,
by himself. I'm going right behind him.
Yeah, you go at Elry's looking down in there into the darkness. And Dakul, you look over and, you know, again, you feel that same kind of updraft of cooler air, and your elven eyes see clearly like the outline of the ladder going down about 15 feet. And you know, down below, it's kind of the same. There are, you can kind of see the ends of shelves that end near the ladder, and a stone floor. But that's really all you can see. You don't see anybody or anything. There's some refuse in the corner, maybe like some little like wood chips or something, some bits of wood and barrels, casks that are all around. But that's what you see just glancing down.
My first thought, what Dakul would say in a situation like this, is he would yell out quite loud enough, "Hammy! Oh, Hammy!
Hammy, 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 Hammy." You hear it kind of echo down into the. You hear a brief echo down through the basement.
He hears this and turns to Hilda and says, "I thought they were going to go stealthily."
I think Ellery was. But figure it out. If he's drunk, he probably doesn't hear very well.
Pruitt, I have a torch, so Elry's going to light a torch
Mhm.
and put it into his mage hand and send the mage hand out 30 feet in front of him.
Okay.
And he's going stealth and hiding, and he's going to send the torch out in front of him because, as identified by Beholder Connery, Hamilton is a human.
Yes.
So presumably he's going to need some light down here, or at least react to it or whatever. So he's going to do that. So do you need me to roll stealth or anything like that, or?
Yeah, go ahead and give me your stealth roll as your torch just kind of floats down into the darkness.
That is a 15 plus. That's a 23, sir.
Okay. So, Elry, I guess you just kind of like put your feet on the outside of the ladder and just kind of silently just all the way to the bottom without a noise. Elry just kind of drops away, Hilda and E. And Elry, you're now in the basement here, and like I said, there's you're in the corner of the basement. So on each direction down the wall, there's shelving with looks like maybe some produce. Like I said, once you get down here, it's a little bit colder.
Why would it be colder though? As this is a space station, would Elry think that's odd? Is there?
I mean, you know, this is your first time on a space station, so
I'm in space, right? I wouldn't even think about it.
You're in space.
Okay.
I mean, you heard Drod mention that they keep more perishable items down in the basement because of the temperature, but that's as much as you know. I mean, he did reference it, so.
Elry would whisper up the ladder, "There's no one down here. I'm going to go a little deeper."
Okay. So from where you are, there's like I said, there's shelving going down each wall, and then in the middle of the room, it's hard to tell the exact dimensions of the room because there's shelves in the room itself. And what's your passive perception?
Oh my god, not good at all. 13.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you see the same thing that you saw when you put the torch down, and that Dakul saw. Every now and again, there's some kind of like bits of wood like chipped away, kind of under shelves in the walkways here and there. Bit like I said, just kind of bits of detritus like strewn about.
Does it look like there's been something gnawed? Like, does it look like the shelves have been like worked over?
Go and give me an investigate.
Oh, I'm good at these. 12 plus 3, 15.
15? Okay, yeah, you're kind of walking along one of the shelves in the center, not against the wall. And near the end of it, you can kind of see what looks like scratches, like kind of, probably about 4 to 6 inches long, kind of some deep gouges kind of in the wood shelving, and then also in the boxes that are holding like various produce and meats. And now that you're at the end of this shelf, you can kind of look further down against the opposite wall, and there is a door there. It's a wooden door, and it is slightly ajar. But you do see evidence of something, some of these crates that have been gnawed upon.
Okay, from his position being lower, can he see anybody, like a foot or anything of anybody up the trapdoor?
Going where your friends are?
Yeah.
You can kind of see their shadows cast against the wall from the light from the room above.
Like, is anybody like leaning in, or
DeCool, are you leaning in over the?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. You see DeCool and his coif of beautiful hair, leaning over the edge, kind of looking down into the.
Okay, Elry will, with all the necklaces that he's wearing, he kind of reaches down with his mouth and fishes up the one that has the copper wire in it, and as it's kind of laced through his mouth, almost like a bit, he points at any exposed flesh on DeCool, and he whispers, "There's a door open down here." And DeCool would hear in his mind, "There's a door open down here."
I believe we should see what is behind that door.
Are you guys gonna come down, or am I gonna die down here by myself?
You will never die alone.
Everyone dies alone. My friend Malcolm Reynolds told me that.
Never that. Let us go, for I have your back. And we have 2 of the dopest, meanest, angriest, ready to lay the smack down individuals behind us. We should fear nothing.
I like the way you think. Get down here so I don't have to go first.
I'll jump all the way down with him, knowing that I got Hilda and Big Bad E404 right behind me. Hey, you can feel real strong and talk real reckless when you got them 2 behind you.
Okay, so you head down the ladder?
Absolutely, with supreme confidence.
Okay. And everyone else, y'all following suit?
Oh, you go first. It's gonna take me a little while.
Will you be all right, Hilda?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's just I didn't quite stretch enough this morning.
Yeah, he will clank their way down.
Okay, so E clanks down the 15 feet to the bottom there, joining DeCool. Hilda, you mount the ladder.
Yep, she makes her way.
Do I need to go ahead and do I need to get a climb check from you? No, fine. I'm kidding.
It's
So
just purely flavor.
yeah.
Old flavor.
So you join them down, and so now you're down, and Hilda, you can kind of feel this in your bones. It's chilly down here. Like it's kind of reminds you of being deep in a dwarven mine.
All right.
And you see at the end of this aisleway here, where you have the shelving along the wall, and then the row of shelves in the middle, like Elry's at the end. You see his little face down there.
All right. Hilda is going to preemptively cast a Searing Smite on her weapon, both as a just in case and as a light source.
Okay. I mean, Elry does have a torch out.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, then fuck it. I'm not doing that. Okay.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got a torch kind of blaring over near the door that is slightly cracked open. And so yeah, that's where y'all are right now.
With my elven eyes, now that I'm like down and in it, and my goggles are off and I can see as clear as I can I do like just a spot check, just an investigation, just to see if anything turns my head?
Okay. Are you investigating in this room, or are you going over to the door and looking out?
I'm gonna go to the door and look out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, Elry's torch is right there, so that gives you enough light for at least 60 feet down. I mean, your dark vision goes to 120, but you can at least see 60 pretty well. So yeah, go ahead and give me that perception check or an investigation, whichever.
Okay. Look at my investigation quick. Oh, an 8.
Okay. Yeah. You go over and just barely nudge the door open, looking out into the hallway here, and the smell kind of waits till the door's open to hit you a little bit, and you know what a sewer smells like. And this door kind of opens up. There's about a 3-foot walkway in, and then it drops off a little bit, kind of going downhill from right to left. There's a slight grade to the ground, and there's just a low sheen of a trickle of water going by. Every now and again you see a bit of something like old food or whatever going by, but it's a sewer.
Okay. There's nothing that seems out of place so far. Let's continue.
Sounds good. Is there any evidence that anybody has passed this way other than the open door?
Give me an investigation check there at the door.
Ooh, terrible. It is a 4, a 7.
It looks like an open door, man.
We got an open door here, everybody. Oh,
watch out! We got an investigator over here. Do any of you all, other people, want to do a check or anything there, or go ahead and enter?
E will scan the door with a nat 1.
Yeah, E's like. E's processors tell her that this door is open 48 degrees right now, and their current temperature is 59 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. All right.
I think Hilda wants to just open the door. I can do it if the rest of you are scared.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hilda go ahead and pulls the door all the way open. And in the light now, you can kind of see that on the outside of the door, once you have the door pulled open, there are some scratches on the door itself. And so they look about the same as the ones that Elry saw on the shelving and the containers there at the end of that. But as you open it up, again, you're entering a tunnel. It's about 20 feet in diameter, kind of a circular tunnel with a flattened, roof or ceiling and floor. But it's about 20 feet in diameter. You got about a 3-foot lip, and then it drops off a couple of feet down into a low kind of flow of water. It's not very deep at all. Looks just like it's kind of a downhill grade that keeps the water moving through. The walls have some lichen on them, mold, and the smell is not great. You've smelled better.
Ellery will send the mage hand torch down 30 feet to see if it illuminates any further
Okay.
fun stuff.
Yeah, so it keeps going down about 30 feet, and then you think you see like an intersection of the tunnel a little bit past where the torch is right now. But it continues to go kind of at a downhill. You said you were going downhill? Okay, yeah. So it continues. Yeah, it's continuing to go downhill, and like I said, it looks like there's a intersecting tunnel just past the torchlight.
You guys want me to go check it out?
Yes, I will be right behind you. I want to ready my sword.
Okay, so you're readying your sword there, and so Ellery, you're moving on up. Are you stealthing, or are you just moving up?
Oh yeah, super stealthing right outside of the 30-foot range.
Okay,
Do
so
you
go
need
ahead.
another roll or the okay?
Yeah, go ahead and give me another. Now that we've entered a new area.
I got a question for you, DM.
Yes, sir.
With my what is it? Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. It's my defense, where as long as I have one hand open for not wearing armor, I get like I think it's like a +1 or a +2 to my armor class for.
Oh no, that's when you forgo using your Kinsai weapon as a melee attack. If you do an unarmed strike instead of a attack, then you can get a +2 to your AC.
Okay, all right. I'm glad we cleared that up now. Okay, thank you.
25 stealth.
Okay, so like y'all kind of see Ellery, you just don't hear him as he just kind of moves away from you, and you see this torch in the distance lighting the way, and he's right at the edge of it, and you kind of actually like lose him every now and again in the flickering of the torch light, even though he's like right in front of you. And so, yeah, you move down closer to where the torch light is. And yeah, you are indeed at an intersection, and both of these intersections are like coming like from further like uphill. They grade upwards coming down to this as this continues to slope downwards. And while you're there, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Let's see, 11, 14.
14? Okay, yeah. So right at the edge of your torchlight, you think you see like up the passage to the right as you're coming down here. You got this cross here to the right, kind of up a little bit, right at where the torchlight is at its dimmest. You think you see maybe a boot, like the bottom of a boot.
He will turn back, and he can still see his friends back in that section. He'll point to Hildy, and she would hear in her mind, "I see a boot," and Ellery just disappears towards it.
Right, I will gesture to E and to Cool. Come on, going this way.
Okay, so y'all begin following in Ellery's footsteps down the sewer. As Ellery, you're moving over. So are you just like jumping down into the flow of sewage? Or are you trying to hop over? Or are you?
Is the boot floating in the water? Is that what?
No, it's
what
you see like I said, there's about a 3-foot lip on each side here, and then it drops down, and it's a good like 10 feet across. And it's on the other side up on the ledge, and the boot is kind of right at the edge of the drop off.
Okay, could he put the torch down and mage hand the boot and pull it over?
Okay, as you move closer and you try to mage hand the boot, like you're pulling the boot, but it's not moving anywhere. As you kind of get closer, you see that the boot is attached to something. Like there's a pile there of something in the darkness. You can't make out what it is, but it's, like I said, it's clearly the bottom of the boot.
The mage hand moves up to where the calf would be and starts to tap, and Ellery whispers, "Hamilton! Hamilton, is that you? Are you dead? Tap, 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 tap. Hamilton."
there's nothing, no response.
He waits for everybody else.
Yeah. I will walk down. I will walk down to the boot to get a closer inspection.
Okay, so Dakul moves up, and you go ahead and hop down, like in the flow of sewage. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you hop down there. When you hop down, go ahead and give me a quick like dexterity check, a dexterity save.
Gotcha.
Because this is, like I said, it's flowing with water, and there's just
16.
16. Okay, you can kind of feel your feet slip just a little bit, but your practiced reflexes keep your center of balance stable, and you manage to walk across. It's very slick, and so it would be difficult to move here, especially with looking at this. It all has a constant grade to it, and so you move closer, and the torchlight kind of illuminates a little bit better here, and you, sure enough, it looks like there's a person here kind of laying on their stomach, kind of folded up in a bit of a ball. Their leg is kind of sticking out and kind of hanging over the lip of this side of the sewer. And you think you find the distinct smear of blood next to the body as you move closer.
Okay. So the body is bloodied, or there's like blood on the wall?
There's blood on the ground next to the body. The body itself is laying on, like, all you see is the back and kind of the backside of this.
Okay. Okay. In my head, I thought they was still in water. Okay.
Oh no, they're up on the side. They're not in the sewer. They're up on the lip on the side, and the boot is kind of hanging off the edge.
Okay, that's clear. Okay.
Right. But you do see a smear of blood next to the body, like up near the torso area.
Can I do a spot check to hear if I hear anything outside of just running water, or smell anything? An investigation check.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Oh, 7.
I mean, there's the trickle of water. You hear the winding of E404's servos and gears every now and again, as you know, they're just kind of looking around. You know, you hear the breathing of Elry and Hilda as it's deathly quiet in here.
Pruitt, here's what I want to do. I want to take the mage hand and flatten it out, and further down, maybe 10 feet farther down than where the body is, I want the mage hand to start slapping the top of the surface of the water, all in various areas, like splashing, like 10 feet down, making as much movement and churning the sewer water as possible.
Okay. Yeah, so you hear a light padding of the surface of the water. Again, it's not that deep. It's literally like an inch or two. There's not a lot of flow here, but you're slapping the water there, and you know, I don't know how long you want to do that. You don't. Other than that, you don't. Nothing. There's no reaction.
Okay, yeah, it's basically a distraction movement, so he can get over to the body.
Okay,
and he wants to. As soon as he gets over there, he'll pull the hand back and roll the body over as he steps sort of 3/4 of the way behind the cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you move over and kind of pull the body up, and you know this is probably a humanoid human. As you like turn him over, and he's got just your regular kind of black pants, just like a white cotton shirt that has tassels in the front tied up, except at the abdomen and chest area there just looks like there's a piece bitten out of him, and as he tilts up, some of his intestines spill out a little bit, and blood begins kind of pouring out, and now you can kind of see where his leg was over. There's blood kind of running down into the water a bit. It was kind of hard to see with the dark mold of the ground, and you can kind of see this line of blood now that has like run down in the sewer, and that's where we're going to leave off for tonight. as we have to solve the mystery of what happened to this poor soul. A young man, broken bottle next to him. Could be Hamilton, not quite sure. But we'll have to find out next week on Starward Bound.
Oh, Hammy, damn.
Yeah, sorry about that. So anyway, let's run around to the cast and crew, see how they liked it. We'll go in reverse order. So we're going to start off with you, Greg, sir. How'd you like it? What's going on here with Elry?
Oh, I have a blast. Elry is, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I always play very dour, very, stoic assholes. Now I get to play like a really obnoxious asshole, and it's great. And it's still in my wheelhouse, and, being an asshole's just second nature. Go figure. I have a great time. This is such a fun group. I love rolling with real dice. It is the best. These people are the best. Pruitt, you're weaving a fantastic tale. I forgot how much I missed and needed Spelljammer in my life. And I do, and I love it, and I missed it, and I want it, and I want it every week. And it's going to be a long 7 days. Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. Tomorrow you can see me on the season finale, of Cthulhu on Encounter Roleplay with our DM Pruitt, as I'm sure we're both going to die horribly, as we're the only two that are not currently in the process of being sacrificed. Check it out tomorrow at 1. It's not going to, you don't get there at 1:15. We might not be there. So it's going to be awesome. Right. So absolutely. And then check me out on my own channel, Grimjack21502, Sunday evenings, Project Athena, Pulp Cthulhu from 7 to 9. And starting later this month on Fridays, we have Firefly, the RPG, coming to my channel, Conan next month, and Project Chronos in June. Until next week, though, guys. See ya.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on around the horn. Emma, how'd you like it, and where can people find you?
That was amazing. Hilda's the captain. I did not see that coming at all. That was so fucking cool. And we got to talk to Connery Beholder, and we're all going to have to live with that for the rest of our lives, and how awesome that was. And it was great. It's always so much fun to play with you, Pruitt.
Thanks.
Yes, it is a life-affirming thing for me at this point. It's wonderful. So how can you reach me? Mostly, you can talk to WebDM at WebDM Show on Twitter. Talk to us on Facebook. Talk to us on Patreon. Talk to us anywhere, and there's a good chance you'll be talking to me, and I will pass along all your messages to these fine folks. If you want to talk to just me, which is mostly me complaining about the things that happen when you have a baby and you're very tired, then you can see that at Susie King 85 on Twitter. But WebDM Show is way more fun. So yeah, talk to us there. I can't wait for next week. It's gonna be great.
Awesome. Yeah. Next, Trey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Once again, I am, as always, thrilled to be a part of this world, this universe, this complex and satisfying world that Pruitt has brought to us. I do apologize for everything being all dark around me. I am out of town on business, so I'm going to do a quick plug. I work for a nonprofit company called Lights Camera Discover, where we teach the filmmaking process to little kids. So I'm out on business on that. So sorry for everything being so dark. It didn't help me wearing a dark shirt and being as beautifully dark as I am to black everything out. So for that, I do apologize. You can reach me on the social medias on Instagram and on Twitter at Cintel.com. Please feel free to Google Lights Camera Discover if you feel like donating to help our little filmmakers of the future. Please feel free to drop a little something. It's a great thing. I'm a huge fan of the creative process, and I'm such a fan of storytelling, which is why I am here and why I am so drawn to Pruitt and everything that he does, because he's a fan of storytelling as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off the horn and say, check us out, check Lights Camera Discover out, hit me up on Cintel at Twitter, and I am absolutely looking forward to the next part.
Awesome. And last but not least, Kiana.
Fantastic as always. I so needed this after I've been hardcore studying for like 3 days. I just needed some D&D in my life, and I'm so glad this was the D&D to break me out of that. Love the story, love the world, always, 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 and love the characters so much. God, like it's just the scheming that comes off of like everybody. That one moment where I was just like, ooh, it could be a bad group. Oh no. I had that moment. But it was great. And you know, this is the only place where you can get a beholder and a robot talking about humanity in a place. So it's always so cool. I can't wait for the next session. Hopefully I survive my finals to make it there.
Oh,
but
oh, sorry.
No. What were you gonna say?
No. Go ahead.
Well, anyways, well, you can find me as I die from finals. You can find me over on Twitter at Kiana S, like my Twitch handle. I love talking about life and hopefully not complaining too much about what I have to do for school. If you like seeing me play D&D, I'm over on Encounter Roleplay on Thursdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, where I DM a Fairy Tale Shenanigans homebrew campaign. We are on our penultimate episode this week, so I'm very excited to throw some really bad shit at the party. It will be tricky, it will be crazy. And if you like hearing me talk about tabletops, I'm on the podcast Lady Slaying Dragons, where it's me and a couple of cool ladies talking about all things tabletop, different topic each week. Round table, super cool. You can find us over on Twitter at Lady Slay. So until next week, where we're going to go figure out the mystery of this poor guy who just died in a sewer, which is like the worst place to die. And also getting eaten halfway, which is also a bad way to die. So hopefully things go better for us.
Yes, hopefully things do go better for you than this poor soul dying alone in the sewer. Good luck with finals, Kiana. I wish you all the best with that. And thanks to all the players for being awesome. I'm having so much fun with this game. All apprehensions have flown out the window, and now we're just playing some D&D, and I love it. As always, hit us up at WebDM here on Patreon, over on YouTube. You can get WebDM every day of the week. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Brandon, our show producer at War Eagle Keep on Twitter. He's the guy flipping all the switches behind the scenes, keeping all the everything fresh. There he is. Hey, what's up, man? And also, if you want to hit up at Alexa_art, that's Alexa with an H. She is providing a lot of this art that we are seeing, the character art, sketches of the rock. And so hit her up for if you want something for your campaign, might get something awesome. And so thank you all. And until we see you next week, as we always say, may the dice ever roll in your favor.